5 months to complete. Probably because they didn't have enough garbage laying around to stuff an elephant. But the result was a presentation far more lifelike than taxidermy had ever before produced. That elephant was, in some ways, a big break. And 2 years later, Carl Akeley was working at the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago.
He's stuck inside the elephant like he's trying to fold a fitted sheet. He's fuck. I need a corner. I need someone find me a corner.
You know what? Just wad it up and stick it in the fucking closet.
Save the ability points.
Moment of digression.
Okay, so how many digressions deep are we now?
We're exactly 2.
Okay.
God damn it.
I'm just gonna delay it a little bit.
Remember, this
All
was the
tip
late
us into a
1800s.
tub of cold water. But how will we sync it up?
See if maybe I can get there. Finer.
Remember, this was the late 1800s, and America and the world hadn't figured out a goddamn thing about how the world worked yet. But we had figured out guns.
Oh, yeah.
And anyone at this point who felt like doing so could just travel on a big game trip to Africa and kill the ever-loving shit out of whatever caught their eye. The idea of conservation, while not strictly a new idea, was not widely accepted. And enormous populations of massive game animals in Africa were being slaughtered just for the funsies.
Doing it the
There was
Jedi
a real
way.
concern that many of the large game species that would be hunted right into extinction, leaving no trace of having ever existed. Those who
See if
curated
that
natural history
fire
museums
rain is
felt
enough
the
to
need
get both those
preserve
bill
the legacy
pots.
of the natural world, not just to document it, but to literally, physically conserve evidence that these animals were in fact real. So when I tell you the next part of the story, keep in mind that the hunting and stuffing of animals was thought of, at the time, as a legitimate scientific documentary record. After some time at the Field Museum, Carl took a job at the American Museum of Natural History in New York for $0. That was his salary.
Wow, good work.
His only stipulation on his work was that the museum finances expeditions to Africa
Keeping
so they
it
could
away
hunt, kill,
from
and ultimately preserve a number of species he found
that
fascinating
other
across the
outpost.
continent. His goal was to be basically a kind of reverse
Who
Noah.
does this to people in Georgia? He goes out,
The
shoots
other-
them, stuffs them.
Oh, okay. I was like, Noah saves the lives of many.
Grimlock gets that shield generator.
I was doing the math on no illusions. It was
There we go.
This isn't the original Noah on this recording. Like, there was
the namesake.
So the idea was he would
Boom.
kill between 2 and 5 of every big animal he could find, and then take them back to his weird Build-A-Bear Frankenstein lab and preserve their corpses so we could all feel a little guilty